The War of the Rohirrim is finally in the theaters. After waiting for so long, we have finally got a chance to see it, but was it any good? And do I even recommend it to you? Let's find out in this video. Before we go any further, I want to say to you a big spoiler warning, because I'm going to talk about some of the events that happened during the movie. The anime style is really fantastic. Even J.R.R's and Helm's Deep change from live action into anime. Looks really good, and Kenji have done a fantastic job. The music was fantastic. We have the same Rohirrim team that returned from the Lord of the Rings adaptation of Peter Jackson. There is a lot of new music added as well, and it feels really good with the story. It sucks you in. The movie itself has a duration of 2 hours and 14 minutes. Is it worth it? Yes and no. Yes, I didn't get bored at any part during the movie, so that is a very good sign, but I do believe that you could trim it down and even make one of 1 hour and 3/4, 1 hour and a half maybe. But now let's get into the spoilers. First of all, I went together with this friend of mine and I asked him, because he has only seen the Peter Jackson movies, he hasn't read any books of Lord of the Rings, and I was wondering, was it good for someone who doesn't really know the story? Because I went to the theaters and already know what was going to happen. Of course, we all know Helm Hammerhand's story for those who have read the Lord of the Rings books. He found it easy to follow, it has been logic, it was great. The question is, with this movie, how is everything that has been changed and added? Because that is the thing that as a Middle-earth content creator that I want to focus on, because it is only 2 pages in a book and they made a movie over 2 hours. Well, they added a lot of stuff. Like for example, we have Hera, and this is something that a lot of people are concerned about, that this is going to be this all-powerful woman hero that is in this story that is going to take away from Helm's glorious moments that we all know and love from the books. Well, I can honestly tell you, she doesn't. She is indeed the main character, but she is not this all-powerful woman that is doing everything, and because of her, everything is saved. I want to tell you why Hera is actually the main character of the story and not Helm Hammerhand. Because who is telling the story? It is Eowyn who is telling the story, a shield maiden of Rohan. She is looking to Hera, to what she has been going through, because she feels a lot of similarities. So I believe that is why she is telling the story where Hera is the main character, but we see Helm's story through her eyes. So don't you worry, Helm is still going to be punching anyone. How he's hunting down the landings. It's all there. Everything we wanted from Helm is there. During the movie, there was one scene that just shows you that Hera is no power woman. At one point, she was just facing off with Thorn, a lord of Rohan, who has betrayed Helm and is working for Wolf. The only reason that she won and she could kill him is because of her horse that helped her. Her horse attacked Thorn, and only because of this she could kill him. Otherwise, she would have been dead. She is just a woman who is trying to defend her home. So I do believe they did the right thing with Hera. But there were a couple of other changes that we have to talk about, that we have seen in the trailers, both the Japanese and the English version. These are the eagles, the Watcher in the water, and even the rings collected by the orcs. We see this shot in the trailer where she is standing on the top of a hill talking to this eagle. This is just an opening shot, and apparently the eagle has a nest right above the Hornburg, right above Helm's Deep. She climbs this mountain to send word for Freyolaf and gives him the armor of Helm Hammerhand, because at that time Helm has already died in the movie. In the books, Freyolaf comes from Dunharrow, goes to Meduseld, attacks Wolf, and Gondor's army comes to aid the Rohirrim and help them defeat the Dunlandings. The other thing is the Watcher in the water. There's just a little part in it, and it's one of these things that could easily be left out in the movie. It isn't necessary to show this. The reason that they showed this is to show how clever Hera really is. Because there was this loose Mumakil and they tried to kill it, but they couldn't. She knew that in the forest nearby there was the Watcher in the water. So she guided the Mumakil through there so the Watcher could take it and eat the Mumakil. And honestly, it kind of spoiled my appetite how the Watcher actually ate the Mumakil. You have to see it for yourself. So could there be more than one Watcher in the water? Yes, it could. Was it necessary in the story? In one way, yes, to show how clever Hera is, that she knows of this monster, and in that way we can save ourselves and can kill the Mumakil. She thought of this is the only way. In that sense, yes, but otherwise, not really. When Helm Hammerhand is hunting down Dunlendings in the middle of the night, he kills them, and the orcs that are just wandering this neighborhood are just collecting rings from the dead bodies because Mordor is looking for them. Okay, it is a reference to the Lord of the Rings. Is it necessary? No, didn't need to be in there. Hera at the end of the movie, she said that she needed to go to a wizard to discuss these rings that the orcs were looking for, and I really thought that she was going to go to Saruman because we just had seen Saruman just before this moment where he gets the key to Orthanc. So I really thought she was going to go to him because Saruman wanted to know everything about the rings. It was actually where she's going to meet up with Gandalf, which once again wasn't really necessary. But now we have talked a little bit about Hera, a little bit about the story itself. Let's go and talk about the one person we all know and love from the story, the one we are most excited to see, Helm Hammerhand. He's this great warrior king and he looks amazing. The voice of Brian Cox is just magnificent. You just feel him as Helm Hammerhand. How he charged into war just reminded me of Theoden riding to Gondor. What I did enjoy the most, what I thought was really cool, we all know from the books that Helm was hunting Dunlendings during the winter, during the night, and they even believed that he was eating them. We got to see this moment through the eyes of the Dunlendings. We didn't see Helm kill anybody. We didn't see it. We just saw the bodies appearing. We saw carcasses. It gave you the chills, showing the fear of the Dunlendings. Every time they hear the horn of Helm, they were just shivering and they were getting scared. I did enjoy this so much, and Helm in the movie is such a BA. The last character I want to talk about, who is the villain of this story, one of these grey villains. You kind of understand what he's going through and you understand his actions in a way. Helm literally killed his dad because he wanted his son to marry Helm's daughter, and he goes on a revenge spree, which at one moment really brought me thinking, and this not because of the revenge or anything, kind of compared him to Tingle. And I know this seems completely odd and completely far off. How can you compare an elven king to an evil Dunlending? Couple of moments during the movie, his advisor General Thark is giving him this great advice and like the most logical thing to do, and he always does his own way. He goes and, yeah, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do this way. And you see General Thark like oh, Wolf. And this just brought me back to Thingol and Melian. If you have ever noticed, when you read the Silmarillion, Melian keeps on giving advice to Thingol, and Thingol is always going the other way. He never listens to Melian, and this just, yeah, my mind works like this. Just brought me back to this moment. So I will give the movie a solid 8 out of 10. Let me know if you have watched the movie. What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I have one more question for you, and just write down in the comment section, what story do you want to see adapted on the big screen in anime, or maybe it might even be in live action? Just let me know, what story of Middle Earth do you want to see on the big screen? Mine is personally the story of Balin going on an expedition to reclaim Khazad-dûm, the dwarven kingdom of all. And if you want to know more about this story, then this is the next video you need to watch, where I explain everything what happened to Balin and his company. So enjoy the next one. Bye bye.